सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु निरारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः पूज्य माँ भगवती, पूज्य श्री अरविंद, you all are very close inmates and chosen souls of the Divine Mother. Virtually speaking, if we can identify ourselves, then if we can try at least in this direction to know ourselves, where Christianity is concluded. Know thyself, everything will be done for you. But to know thyself is not merely a logo, motto, or cultural or religious idea. It is the master velocity. One can know oneself is the great and grand velocity. Mind cannot surpass it. Mind cannot control it. Nor mind can govern it. How far mind can try. Even Satavdhani saint like Srimad Rajchandra many a times did try to control his mind, but he could not. Later on, he realized unless and until I can get my ego dissolved, unless and until I can forget myself totally. So, self forgetfulness on my side is the entry for the super reality at my disposal. And that is what Srimad Rajchandra propounded in his masterpiece. So, Srimad Rajchandra belongs to our time. We don't talk about our ancient rishis, ancient saints, and ancient avatars, ancient divine incarnations. But the experience on the part of Srimad Rajchandra is a very common experience which we also can have it. So it is the reality, practical reality, scientific reality, supra spiritual reality, and finally divine reality. So absence of mind is the master key to create the presence of divine. It is the absence of mind that can create the divine with us. It is the mind of light that has become the mind of sale. There is no distinction between mind of light here in Sri Aurobindo's body being transmitted to mother and the heritage of our cellular divinity given to all of us at the time of soul entering into our body in the womb of our mother. And the supreme reality of Om Tat Sat, Satchidanand, Paratpar Parabrahma, if they are rightly, meaningfully connected, then it can create a new design. It can create microscopic reality and macroscopic reality, but so intermingled that even a slightest jerk of our worldly life can change our pattern, just like a kaleidoscope. If we give a slightest jerk to kaleidoscope while seeing, so we are the seers, we are the observers, we are not the participants initially. But if slightest jerk from the worldly life can change the position of our kaleidoscope. And what is our kaleidoscope? Kaleidoscope is our means, is our instrument. So what is at present our kaleidoscope? Our mind is our kaleidoscope. If we can change the slightest position of our mind, entire world can be changed, entire scenario can be changed. And that is what divine wants. To approach me, you will have to change yourself. But as per my instruction, as per my design, as per my mandate, as per my wish. It's not your wish arising from your mind will matter. It is my design which will be reflected on the screen of your mind matters much. It is my design which gets reflected on your mind, and I can see, not you can see, because it is your mind. Screen cannot see screen itself. Screen is seen by the observer. Mirror cannot see mirror itself. Mirror can see the person who is presenting himself before the mirror with one and one objective, to see himself, to know himself. As the observer, as the person standing before the mirror with a determination to see himself completely as it is, as he is virtually, actually, then he can see himself in the mirror completely, provided the mirror is absent and mirror is clean. Mirror doesn't do anything there. Mirror doesn't move. Mirror doesn't get, mirror doesn't provide anything to him, to the observer, to the seer. But mirror keeps itself stand still, silent, non-reactionary. This is our kaleidoscope. This is our mind. It has been given automatically in the hands of the divine to operate. If our mind is totally given to the divine to be operated as per his will, to be executed in our being, to be executed in our personality, that is our destiny. In this birth, we are so molded, but it is divine that wants to remold it. We are going to be remolded after 10 births yet to be lived. To accelerate the entire evolution, divine is before us to accelerate our evolution also, individual. So, individual consciousness of mind is to be related with the consciousness of the mind of the divine. So, the consciousness of the mind of the divine is macroscopic consciousness. Ours is microscopic consciousness. Why Savitri came to the earth as a blessing and vardhan to Ashwapati, bridging the gulf between man's mind and God's. So, what is man's mind? So, man's mind is the cellular mind. What is God's mind? God's mind is a mind of light. So, mind of light is to be connected with the cellular mind. That is the programming. What Mother offered to be understood as master key to Satprem. So the unique personality of the world ever born on the surface of the earth, like Satprem, who was chosen by the mother for her scriptures to be expanded as Sabda Brahm, Akshar Brahm on the earth, for a new pedestal to be created for life divine and for supramental being to be working, spending, living on the earth, on this new earth. That is the mind of selves. Mind of selves is Anuror Riyan and supramental is Mahatur Mahyan. But both are to be bridged in such a way that our entire existence can be dissolved into it, and dissolved into it in this way that as and when our psychic wills, it can be recreated, it can be represented, it can be reborn, it can be reoffered to the observers. Mirror doesn't do anything, but still mirror can offer the pure and perfect form to the observer who is searching for self totality and self purity. So this is what it is, the master key that Satprem identifies, that this is the master key mother has offered to me. If the life mode is to change, if my life mode is to be changed, is to be transformed, is to be transfigured, as I told you, is to be remolded. How can it be remolded? If the life mode is to change, the death mode must also change. The mode of the death also must change. Our ignorant life, our egoistic life, our selfish life, our self oriented life, our I oriented life, our life mode that is full of vanity, full of arrogance. Now, that mode ultimately invites death to it. You are master, you are master, you are master, but till tomorrow. You are master, no doubt, but till tomorrow. Beyond tomorrow, you will be nothing. So the limited time span is given to your mastery to be exercised and to be experienced. But you must realize that this life, how far glorious and how far grand and given to us, but for the time being. So the boundary to this Leela is death. The frontier, the borderline to this Leela of immortality is death. To this Leela of divinity is death. To this Leela of self-accepted and self-believed, self-imposed reality is death. So if we can change the mode of this life, then we can only change the mode of death. Because this life of this nature is related to death. So if we want to change the death, we must change our instrument. If we must, if we want to change our mold to be projected through mirror, to be projected through this existence, to be projected through the relativity of Einstein, of time and space, we must change first of all ourselves. Then it will be free from the jerks given to it as kaleidoscope by the divine. If you can surrender to the divine, divine will automatically change you into divine. Divine cannot change you in monster. Divine cannot change you into undivine. Divine cannot change you in darkness, in ignorance, In egoistic personality, divine can change you into divine. You will be, though individual, cosmic personality. As Krishna standing on the battlefield of Kurukshetra for Arjun was Lord Krishna, the Sarthi, the charioteer. But the real Krishna was Virat. So one Krishna is atom and another Krishna simultaneously projecting himself on the battlefield of Kurukshetra is Virat. So you can be atom, side by side you can be Virat. But both the dimensions of existence of divinity you can inherit from me. Just look at me. Just surrender to me. You can change your nature. If your nature will be changed, you cannot be concretely change your nature. You will have to aspire, you will have to pray to me, you will have to surrender to me. I am there to change your nature. But unless and until your nature is changed, that new nature cannot be experienced by you. It's beyond your reach. First of all, change yourself. And if you can change yourself, your atom will be Virat. Your microscopic reality will be automatically macroscopic reality, and the difference between your mind and the mind of God will be abolished. So your mind has got that potentiality to be wider as God, to be omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient as God. But first of all, you will have to be silent, you will have to be non-entity, you will have to be pure, perfect, and surrendered, submitted, clean instrument. That is what he says. If the life mode is to change, the death mode must also change, or else it will just be the same old and endless story. Unless and until you change your mind, you are going to repeat the same story again and again. In previous birth also you did this thing, Ahar, Nindra, Bhaya, and Maithuna, and in this birth also you did the same thing. And if it is not changed, that nature as such is not changed, next birth will be also the repetition of the same history and same destiny. With a few ubiquitous, ubiquitous and heavenly illusions in between, and you will have heavenly illusion. Oh, I will get moksha, I will get salvation, I will get this, I will get that, I will get this, and under that illusion is not reality. Illusion is what is not reality and still is believed to be and taken for granted to be reality is illusion. What is not ever existing and you accept it to be super existence is illusion. But what is the cause of it? The cause of it is your ignorance. You are ignorant, and that is why you accept what is nothing as what everything. That is illusion. And that has to be changed. And where is the birthplace of death to be found? If the death is to be changed, and we are to aspire for immortality. So, what is the birthplace of death? Birthplace of death is within us, is not external. It is within us. And where is the birthplace of death to be found? The only way to know is to descend into the body. The precious diamond is lost. Our precious diamond is lost. So, what is the first adventure to regain it? The first adventure is to be launched where it was lost, not elsewhere. Not elsewhere. If it is lost here, we should try our search for it here and here, not elsewhere. So, if we are dying, we are afraid of death, we are fearful of death. So, solution is also to be found here. where we have created death. Death is created in our body. Misuse of physical being, misuse of vital being, and more misuse of mental being ultimately makes us victim of the death, if not today, tomorrow. So their solution is also to be found out here. So we must descend down into our body. We should not go to the heaven in order to find out the real solution to the death. Here we should find it. And where is the birthplace of death to be found? The only way to know is to descend into the body. That's what Mother meant in 1959. Mother categorically announced this master key in 1959. Means what? After 1956, after 29th February of 1956, that is after supramental descent, Mother declared in 1959 by the path of descent. This is the path of descent, and that is a de novo addition, de novo realization, de novo extension to entire Vedanta literature, to entire Vedanta experience, to entire Vedanta spiritual treasure. It is over and above the Vedanta. So, over and above Vedanta is definitely over and above anything and everything that is required to realize God in oneself or God everywhere. So, this is the masterpiece. That may even be what the descent into hell doesn't matter. You can feel that this is something very very horrible to descend into hell. Sri Aurobindo also descended down into darkness, into night, as King Ashwapati's march clearly indicate descend into night. So descent into hell is to know yourself, is to know yourself truly, genuinely, scientifically, and realistically. So it is a must. Well, if we are to begin to understand anything about the body, if we want to understand really anything about our body, biology will not serve the purpose, anatomy will not serve the purpose, simple blueprint of body and x-ray will not serve the purpose. But our body is a meeting place of matter and spirit. Our body is a meeting place of matter and spirit. Spirit is also there and matter is also there. Panchmahabhut are also there and soul is also there. So soul and Panchmahabhut, they are interacting with each other. Now that design, that planning, that programming, that reality has to be very first understood by the mind, because we can understand each and everything with the means of our mind because we are human beings. So we can understand God also by our mind. But all futile exercises to be to understand God, to understand divine with the means of our little mind is useless. First of all, we have to understand mind, to what extent mind can be competent and to what extent mind can be wider, to what extent mind can be a perfect instrument for accepting divine to be its master, is to be first scaled out properly, spelled out properly, is to be first of all accepted properly. But if ego is not dissolved, we cannot accept this new government. We cannot accept this new power of governance. We cannot accept the governance of divine, that is the mind of light. That is the mind of light. And if mind of light is to be accepted, it can be accepted at the level of cellular light, the light that pre-exists in our cell, is the true, genuine eternity. Eternity can recognize eternity. Divinity can recognize divinity. Reality can imbibe reality. The truth of science can imbibe the truth of science. This is a new nature. If our old traditional, time bound, ignorance bound, ego bound nature is changed, we cannot have the real freedom from death. We cannot have the real freedom from tamas, real freedom from darkness. It must first of all stop being natural. So, what is the master key? We must first of all stop being natural. We stop our march accepting nature. No, it is natural. One has to accept it. Death is natural. We have to accept it. This reality is natural. Pain is there, suffering is there, misery is there, unhappiness is there, rivalry is there. Everything is there. Negativity is there. It is natural. One has to accept it. We must change the entire mode of nature to be divine. Because divinity is there inside ourselves, and that divinity has been descended down on the earth for us, all of us, to be drawn by the divine to the divine mind, bridging the gulf between man's and mind. We have first of all to launch the foundation stone of that new bridge, foundation stone of this new inclination, foundation stone of this new connectivity, foundation stone of this new march, foundation stone of this new velocity. There lies the master key for immortality. Body, it must first of all stop being natural. We must stop being natural. Natural means undivine. Our entire nature is mortality bound nature, though it was meant for immortality bound nature. But it is our mind that has egoistically distorted not itself, not our body, but it has distorted everything around us. So, if that mind is not to be reset properly, if that mind is not to be real instrument, then we cannot really grasp the captivating power and the divine governance that is constantly manifesting around us. We cannot have the real divine experience in this life. We must go on. Then ultimately, if we accept nature, then what will be our destiny? Our destiny is to circumlocute every birth. In every birth, we have to move around. Nothing else. It is the horizontal destiny, horizontal movement, and horizontal hostility that is to be our experience and experiment in every birth. If we want to get free from it, we must first of all change our instrument, change our microscopic reality in order to enter into the macroscopic zone of reality, macroscopic zone of divinity, macroscopic zone of infinity. As long as the guinea pig behaves normally in its cage, we are just living and behaving in the cage of mortality. And still we think that we are Srunavantu Amrutasya Putraha. We are the sons of God. But if we want to experience it, at least first of all, we must offer whatever we have to the divine. Then we can be divine. We want to be divine, but we have to surrender totally to the divine in order to be divine, because divine is there knocking at our consciousness. He is with us us, to be our personality, to be our individuality. The entire cosmic divinity has accepted our atomic divinity. Entire cosmic divinity has come down on the earth to be our individual divinity. It has already been individualized divine, but our ignorant man has not up till now. So many births we might have ignorantly passed, still we have not identified the cellular divinity. This is for the first time that time has come in order to be the real virtual receiver of supramental. Will have to first of all find our own eternity which is there in our self. Hatha yoga yogis have extensively experimented with all those techniques. You can even stop your heartbeat. Hatha yogis up till now did try to find out what are the potentialities, hidden potentialities of our body, but they failed horribly. They could not find it out. By suppression, by compression, by depression, by mandatorily crushing the waves and vibrations of body, you cannot command and master your body. You must go to the core of it to master your body. If you want to take the reign of your body, you must silently pamper your body in such a way that it can be your collaborator. Your body can be your collaborator. Your body is not against your psychic, against your soul, because it has accepted body. Soul has accepted body for its own manifestation. So we must accept body to be our grand, great, and master collaborator. And with reaction, we cannot get it. With illusion, we cannot realize it. With aggressiveness for the body, we cannot. My body is like that, it doesn't cooperate me. My body is like that, it doesn't cooperate me. We are exaggerating our suffering, we are exaggerating our misery. We don't really identify our potentiality which is there at the cellular level in our body, because body is a cellular pattern. Body's form is not form left to itself a form. It is based on the internal pattern of the cellular reality, and cellular reality is moving around the cellular light. Cellular reality is all the while moving around the cellular significance of eternity, and that cellular eternity is the mind of self. We are not alter the jugglings of the old species. This is Satprem says, the mother says that it is juggling. That jugglery cannot change the reality. Like jugglers, we can find out currency note from the air. So why have you come here? Do it at your home. If you can find out currency notes from the air, why to come here and why to demonstrate it here? Do it at your home secretly and silently and privately. It is jugglery. The way in which we are living, guided and governed by the nature, not nature in a popular sense of the term. Nature means what reality, illusory reality we have accepted as reality is nature. Without changing it, we cannot enter into our body. We cannot enter into the core of our body, into the atomic reality of our body. Anunor Aniyan. Mahato Mayan is at our hand. But first of all, Anunor Aniyan is to be recognized, realized, utilized. We can be cellular eternity first, then we can be God. We can be divine. And then what? We are not after the jugglings of the old species, nor even after an improved version of the old species. We can, in the next birth, will be better than this birth. It's a hopeless hope. that we can be better tomorrow. If we want to be better, right now we can be better here on this earth, in this birth. And that is the master key to enter into this body. This human body is a better gift given to us to find out the master key to be divine. We are after something else. We can play with all the body mechanisms, but they won't yield anything really new because they barely touch the surface. Because up till now, so many yogas, so many techniques, so many modes of spiritualities, and so many modes of religions have been occurred, have been existed on the earth, and we were made to participate in them, but still we did not enter into the core that has been given to us, the source of divinity. We forget Gangotri and try to take bath in Ganga. We forget Gangotri and try to take bath in Ganga. So Gangotri is within us, and that Gangotri is mind of same. That is the mind of light, and that is the supreme. Anything really new because they barely touch the surface, and that is why neither biologists nor hut yogis have found the key, nor biologists, nor anatomists, nor medical science, and nor even hut yogis found the key, nor even really understood the problem. They never understand our problem up till now, and with the result that this is mother's exercise on her body to enter into her own cellular pattern. And that cellular pattern is the cellular prayer. Cellular pattern is the cellular aspiration. Each and every cell receiving the psychic light from mother, and mother could see. Mother could see means what? The mind of the mother that was made silent could see the play of interaction between cell and psychic light, between cell and the mind of light, between cell and the supramental working at the cellular level of the mother is being observed by mother's mind at that time. Can we, if it is the master key, we all will have to apply it to our psychic and to our cell to reframe our dialogue up till now not heard and up till now not created.